The Manuscript of Survival, Part 295. April 4, 2013. As many of you have already ascertained, the veils are lifting one by one, and this denouement can in some cases cause even more bewilderment amongst you. For what is this that you have taken for granted all of your life, if not just a puff of smoke, a mirage masquerading as reality? It can be almost overpowering at times when you find yourself standing in this full glare of the truth, as you have to reassess so much that you have built not only this, but also all of your previous lives upon. So yes, the light is merciful indeed, but also merciless, for it leaves nothing to the imagination anymore, and you are forced to take everything up for review as you know you must. For you cannot continue on this journey with your eyes and your heart close to this truth, and even if it may be painful in some aspects, it is also the final catharsis that will effectively cauterize any last vestiges of old suppurating wounds, and leave you all to finally heal and become whole again. For that is indeed what this journey is all about, coming together and gathering all of the aspects of you that have been dispersed far and wide during your sojourns on this planet. And their task has been this one, to gather as much experience as possible, by falling headlong into life in all of its aspects, both those deemed as good and also those deemed as bad. For once the veils start to drop, you will know that there are no such things as good or bad, for everything carries equal measure in this theater of life. But now, you have learned enough the hard way, and you are extracting yourselves from this old play. And do not forget, this old play was indeed infested by a large extra helping of darkness a long time ago, by those outsiders dead set on making this whole show keep running long after it was supposed to be closed down. And as such, you have in many ways been forced to play out ever more sinister versions of this theater of life. But now, that show has been called off, and you are no longer under the spell of those puppeteers who so enjoyed watching you all squirm under their hard tenure. So now, you are finally let off from this old forced labor and free to start to play out the new version of your life on Earth School. For remember, that is why you are all here, to amass knowledge that can only be acquired by living a life in a physical vehicle such as yours, and in such surroundings as the one your beautiful blue planet offers you. And now, the time has come to re-enter school, but this time, it is the School of Light, as you have all finished the old School of Darkness a long, long time ago. As we said, your tenure there overran its stipulated date by a very, very long time indeed. But now, that has been set right once again, and you will be invited to enter these new halls of knowledge at your own volition. For remember, not all will be tempted to leave the old school, as they would rather stick to the old tried and true, however painful, than to risk severing all of the old connections and throwing themselves wholeheartedly into this new adventure. For again we say, it is indeed up to each and every one of you if you want to access these new halls of the light, or if you prefer to stay in that airless and dimly lit theater of the old. We cannot force you to do anything, nor would we even try, for it is a sacred edict that on this planet, all are serving under the rule of free will. For yes, this is a place you come to serve, not only yourselves, but also the rest of creation. For what you amass of knowledge here, goes back to that all-encompassing repository of knowledge that is accessible for all living beings in creation. That is, apart from the ones inhabiting your planet. For you have been effectively cut off from this endless source of wisdom and energy. But what you have experienced here, has been downloaded into this knowledge bank, and now, by taking that final step into the light, you will also become the recipients of this vast sea of knowledge. So from you being merely a depositor of knowledge, this stream of consciousness will start to go both ways. And as you enter the halls of this School of Light, your body and your mind will start to receive huge downloads of this information that will literally change your whole world, not only the way that you look upon it. So again we say, that school's out, as you have already more than delivered what was acquired of you in the last grade, but now, we invite you to enter this new school, where the light will instruct you and love will be your guiding light, and fear will no longer be the measuring stick against which all will be judged. For you have learned more than enough from that old regime, And now, the time has come to reopen the books and reopen your heart to the true knowledge of the light. The old has served its mission, but the time has come to close that door and open the ones that lead you to your new level of understanding. The Constant Companions. Channeled by Asia North. asianorth.wordpress.com